In the morning session, we discussed about the formulation required for injection mold design, and in continuation with that, we will solve one problem today, and then we'll close the topic. Right? Basically, we are having a very nominal problems. As such, no any complicated design procedure. Very simple problem we are solving, and even if you check out the university question papers, similar kind of problems are there. Similar in the sense, same problems are there, because whatever the problems we have taken in the lecture and practicals, and that problems are taken from the question paper only. Okay, so simple, like table or a chair, or the legs of the chair, or bottle caps. Okay, same kind of designs are there. The reason is that whatever the products are manufactured through plastic are used for that kind of applications only, right? So that whenever plastic products are used, there this intense parameters are not there, like very huge strength is required. Okay, more resistance to bending is requirement of resistance to bending is high. Okay, so very nominal parameters are there. Even in many times we are not considered a factor of safety also, because mostly the applications or the products which are manufactured through plastic are of one time use type. Getting it? Okay, use it and throw it. So that kind of products are there, so that designing is also with that point of view, which can be intention is that product can be used at least one time. Life should be a moderate, not very high, and the more important thing is that cost should be low. Okay, that is the intention behind using this plastic products. So that very wherever this requirement of product will be, size of the product will be very small, there this plastic is preferred. Getting it? Okay, for the short life cycle. Okay, where the application is for the short life cycle, so that the components that we are considering for design point of view are smaller components or simple components, because in real life also similar kind of components are manufactured through this kind of processes, right? Okay, so now almost we are done with this types and feeding system and control system and injection system, and even the formulation required for the design point of view. Okay, so now we'll solve one problem and then we'll close the session, right? So in the morning we discussed about, even we have revised this types of systems also, injection systems. Getting it? Okay, sorry, cavity types: single cavity, multi cavity. Okay, two mold type, three mold type, sorry, two mold, two plate type, three plate type mold. Okay, and I told you the pros and cons also. What is the use of, not as such pros and cons, why two mold is preferred for different application and three mold is preferred for different application. Pros and cons is not the actual thing to compare both the parts. See, everything is designed or manufactured with respect to some particular application. Okay, let it be for that application. The, see, the product where I am using two plate mold, the product where I am using the two plate mold, in that case the three plate mold will show some deficiencies. Okay, some disadvantages. And the product for which I am using specifically three plate mold, in that case, in that point of view, two plate mold will show some deficiencies. Getting it? So at actual advantage and disadvantage is not the parameter to compare the things. It should be fit for the purpose. Are you getting? General definition is fit for the purpose. Fit for the purpose. Okay, so any part which is fit for the particular purpose may be unfit for the another one. Okay, so that's how this advantages and disadvantages are framed, right? Okay, so in the morning session we discussed the formulation about this problem. Okay, and the same problem we are going to solve now. For the this is a simple component, rather it is a bottle cap. Okay, it is a bottle cap, and this bottle cap is supposed to be designed by this injection molding process. Okay, these are the only dimensions which we are going to consider for solving the problems. the parameters which are required to consider while solving the while solving the problem is like this. First of all, injection pressure will be given, density of the component will be given, and machine availability or the tonnage capacity of the machine will be also given. Getting it? Okay. So first of all, we have to calculate the machine capacity as per our dimensions, and then we'll have to compare it with the available machine capacity. So we have to calculate weight of the component initially, then we have to calculate the projected area. This projected area will be for single cavity. If in the problem it will be mentioned as multi cavity, you can go for two cavities or three cavities, or maybe sometimes it will be mentioned like it is a two cavity mold or three cavity mold. That way, accordingly, you can calculate the total projected area. Getting it? Okay. Now, based on the total projected area, we will get a machine load capacity. This is a calculated machine load capacity. This is the calculated machine load capacity. Apart from that, we will have the available machine load capacity. Getting. So again, we have to make the reverse engineering, and based on this available load capacity, we have to calculate the total projected area, because injection pressure is going to be fixed. And once we'll get the total projected area, based on that we will calculate the last parameter, that is the wall thickness of the mold. Okay, so let's solve the problem and you will understand the entire procedure. Okay, so the problem is also from university question paper, same problem we are taking. So we have to design injection mold for simple plastic component. Okay, so what we have been given, that plastic bottle cap, design a component is a plastic bottle cap, plastic bottle cap. Okay, plastic bottle cap is there. Now, first of all, the given data will write material is given as polypropylene. Okay, material is given as polypropylene with the density as 0.5459 centimeter cube. Sorry, not only centimeter cube. It is gram per centimeter cube. Okay, so it is gram per centimeter cube. Then injection pressure is given as, let me check injection pressure, what we have taken. Injection pressure P, just a minute, 700. Or 900. Injection pressure is given as, okay, 700 kg per centimeter square. Okay, injection pressure is 700 kg per centimeter square. This is the density, this is the pressure, rather specifically it is a injection pressure. What else is given? Okay, assume the required data. Okay, so let's calculate it. Right. Okay, so we'll follow the same procedure so that you will understand it properly. what we have considered, first of all, weight of the component, and the weight of the component is outer volume minus inner volume multiplied by density. Let me draw first of all the figure. It is a simple bottle cap. Right. So all the dimensions are in centimeter. So this complete height is 2.15 centimeter. This small height is 2.05 centimeter. This larger dia is how much? 3.4 centi, and smaller dia will be 3.3 centimeter. Okay, so thickness will be obviously a 10 millimeter. Now, okay, so these are all the dimensions are in the centimeter. Larger height 2.15 centimeter, smaller height 2.05 centimeter, larger diameter 3.4 centimeter, and smaller diameter is 3.3 centimeter. Getting it? Okay. So now let's calculate the first one, the first part. What is weight of the component? Outer volume minus inner volume into density. The first one, weight of product, and the formula is outer volume minus inner volume into density. Okay, so that's simple. So let's first of all calculate the outer volume and inner volume. Okay, I'll write it down at once. Okay, so being a circular product, a spherical product. Okay, so simple area pi by 4 d1 square into h1. This is the area and this is the height, so it will be totally volume. Larger one and smaller one, pi by 4 d2 square into h2 multiplied by density. Simple one. Okay, so let's come back here. So this 3.4 centimeter is d1, 3.3 centimeter is d2, 2.15 centimeter is h1, and 2.05 centimeter is h2. Okay, larger dia d1, larger height h1, smaller dia d2, smaller height h2. So this will come out as pi by 4, larger dia 3.4 square, larger height 2.15 centimeter, and smaller one pi by 4, smaller dia 3.3 square into smaller height 2.05 multiplied by density. So density is 0.5459. Getting it? Okay, so if you will calculate, it is gram per centimeter cube. Density is gram per centimeter cube, so obviously we'll get the product weight into the gram. So if you calculate it, it will come out as 1.0827 gram. Getting it? Okay, so simple thing, this will be the capital W. We can nominate this as a capital W. Weight of the component will be because density is in a gram per centimeter cube, so our weight will be in the gram. Okay, so you can convert it into as per the requirement. So it will be 1.0827 gram. This will be the weight of the component. How we have calculated? Simply outer volume minus inner volume multiplied by density. By this way you will easily get the weight of the product. Okay, second is the parameter. Let's see what is there. projected area, simple projected area for single cavity. Okay, this will be a projected area. Projected area in the sense area which will focusing or facing, not the focusing, facing to the top mold, so that pressure will be given on that area. Okay, so simple thing which is facing area, this larger area is the facing area on which we are going to give the, as it is not a transparent throughout, cavity is not a transparent, we have to consider the complete area. Okay, so it will be pi by 4 d1 square. D1 is the 3.4, so it will be pi by 4 into 3.4 square, so it will come out as 339, 4.5 into 12, so it will be around 9.079 centimeter square. Okay, so this will be the projected area. This will be the projected area. Simple calculations are there, nothing, or it should not be required to repeat it again and again. Simple. Okay, so by using the larger diameter I have calculated the projected area. If it is a hollow cavity, throughout cavity, then you will have to reduce down the internal space also. Now what is happening in the problem, there is a one more statement is there, I have forgotten to write. Okay, one more statement is there. The statement is the mold is two cavity type. Mold is two cavity type. Are you getting? There is one more statement. Mold is of two cavity types. So how many cavities are there? Two cavities are there. Now we have calculated this projected area for single single cavity. Getting it? Okay. Whenever we are calculating with respect to only single cavity. Now we are applying the injection pressure on the entire mold surface. Okay, so I mean on the entire projected area. So projected area must be considered for the all the cavities whatever may be available. Apart from that, see, in case of compression molding, for calculating the pressure and all the things, we have calculated only effective projected area, nothing else we have considered here, because directly in case of compression molding, what we are using, how we are doing it, just putting the material inside the cavity and compressing it with the ram or some other mechanism. Getting it? That's how it is uh, conducted. Okay, but now in case of injection molding, you cannot go similar way. What we are doing here, or sorry, we are using, if suppose these are the two cavities, so we are using a runner or the gating system. So here will be sprue and runner type gating system. Okay, this is the well. So obviously this is not like this way, it will be in the this way. Cross sectional area will be reducing down type, right? Okay, so here will be a gate, sprue, and this is the runner. Okay, and the nozzle will feed the material to the sprue. Okay, that's how the material will be supplied to the both the cavities. Getting it? Okay, so in this particular mold, this is the mold particular area. In this particular mold, we are having cavities also, we are having gates also, we are having runner also, we are having sprue also, right? So apart from cavities or the particular component area, we are having gating system also. So while calculating the projected area, we have to calculate area of the projection for cavities also, and the area of projection for the gating system also. Now it is quite lengthier or quite complex to calculate. See, to calculate the area, we need the dimension of the gating system. So rather than going in the deep of the dimension of gating system, we are using allowances, means extra part we are providing, extra what we can area we are providing in terms of the additional allowance. Okay, so that additional allowance is a 10% of the projected area. Getting it? Okay, so I mean what I want to say, if there is a one cavity and the projected area is a 10 centimeter square, so effective projected area will be this area plus 10% of 10 centimeter square. Getting it? Okay. So this will be a totally 11 centimeter square. So this will be a net projected area for single cavity. For single cavity, as many number of cavities you have to multiply with the that many number of cavities. Are you getting? So 10% additional area will be considered as an area, so projected area for the gating system, right? So the formula for that, here I will write down. Total projected area. Okay, so how to calculate this total projected area? Projected area for single cavity plus 10% additional for 10% additional area for gating system. Okay, and this entire multiplied by number of cavities. Okay, this entire multiplied by number of cavities. Okay, so let's calculate this. So we have already the projected area for this single cavity. Additionally, just we have to consider it 10% extra. Okay, so let's calculate it and we'll put down the numbers directly. Projected area for single cavity is a 9 point around 9.079. Okay, so it is 9.079 projected area for single cavity into 10% of the area of single cavity. So this is the additional area for the gating system multiplied by number of cavities. So we have to consider two number of cavities. So this will be a total, or I can say a net projected area. Okay, total projected area. So this will be coming around 19.973 centimeter square. Okay, so approximately it is 20 centimeter square. So in design procedure, you can go for the approximation. Okay, not for other problems, but at least for design, if it is very close, you can go for the rounding of the numbers, right? Okay, so total projected area will be around 20 centimeter square. How we have calculated? We have already the projected area for single cavity that we have calculated based on the surface area, and then we have added the 10% additional area required for the gating system purpose, because the gating system is going to be the part of the mold cavity, right? Okay, where we are applying the pressure, and then accordingly we'll have to multiply by number of cavity, because see, if gate will be there, separate gate for the separate cavity, runner will be there, separate runner for the separate cavity, so that we have to multiply it with the number of cavities, sorry, number of cavities. So this we are done with net total projected area for single cavity and the weight of the component. Now the next one is the machine load capacity, the fourth parameter, machine load capacity. Okay, now we are making it calculated machine load capacity, okay, and not the what we can call available. Okay, so there are two parameters are there: available machine load capacity and calculated machine load capacity. Getting it? Okay, so we are doing it here, calculated machine load capacity. So here it will be machine load equal to total projected area, net total projected area multiplied by injection pressure, multiplied by injection pressure. Okay, so in the previous part only we have calculated total projected area as 20 centimeter square. So total projected area is a 20 centimeter square. Injection pressure is 700 kg per centimeter square. So it will come out as 14,000 kg machine load. So 14,000 kg in the sense, see, generally higher numbers are converted to the upper limit. Okay, so mostly what happens, the machine capacities or etc. These are calculated in terms of the tons and not in terms of the kgs. Smaller one can be considered in the kgs, but higher ones will be in the ton. So it will be around 14 ton. So this is the machine load capacity. So this is actually calculated machine load capacity. This is the calculated machine load capacity. Now we have to compare with the available machine load capacity. What I discussed in the morning. See, your calculations may be not exactly close to the available machine load capacities or the ranges. So see, machine load capacities are available like this in the range 20, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, so it, and that machine load capacity we have to consider. So in this problem it is given as 30 ton machine is available. 30 ton machine is available. 30 ton machine in the sense load capacity is the 30 ton. 30 ton machine is available, right? So now our formula is machine load equal to total projected area versus what is their injection pressure. Okay, now we have to revise the projected area. Why? Because see, in the last section what we have seen, this is as per our dimension, but what is the available according to that, if you redefine it. Now currently the machine load capacity available is a 30 ton. Okay, we can convert it into kg also. Okay, and it will be is total projected area into 700. So this total projected area will be around 30,000 into 700. So it will come out as around 42.857 centimeter square. Getting it? Okay. So I will write down it separately. Net projected area is equal to 42.857 centimeters cube. 42.857 centimeters cube. Okay, so this is the available area for two cavities. This is the available area or the projected area for the two cavities. Getting it? Okay. So now two cavities in the sense we have to split it equally. So per cavity area will be per cavity area in the sense projected area. So it will be 42.857 divided by 2. Okay, so it will come out as around 21.4285 centimeter square for single cavity. Getting it? Okay, now this is 21.4285 in a single cavity. Now what is happening actually? What is the meaning of this? If suppose I will consider a single cavity, if suppose I will consider this as a single cavity like this, so this total projected area will be, this total projected area is coming as, our area is 21.4285. so this 21.4285 for single cavity is this area, this square. I'm not looking at the square, but we are considering this as a square. Okay, you can consider rectangular, by that way you can calculate the dimensions. Okay, now so this projected area constructed area as per your calculation. As per our calculation, it is a 21.4285 square. Okay, so now what we are observing, that we are considering, or we are assuming as this as a square plate, this as square plate, mold area, mold surface as a square plate, mold as a square plate, and this is the area of the square plate. Already we got the area, and if you want to calculate the area of square plate, area of square plate, we are getting as 21.4285. so this is nothing but the side square. So ultimately, if you take the square root of that, you will easily get the side of that particular surface. So, and that side is coming around, so 21 means it will be in between 4 to 5, 4.625 centimeter. Okay, that's what expected, right? Getting it? Okay, so ultimately the side of this mold plate is coming as 4.625, 4.625, 4.625, 4.625. Okay, so all sides are coming as 4.625 because being a square one. Now come to the our original point, where it is, this one. If you check the larger area, because we are talking about the surface area, if you think this is the larger area, larger one, projected area 3.4, so diameter is, how much is the diameter? Diameter is 3.4 centimeter of for single cavity. Okay, and if you check out here how much we are getting, see, I will show it properly. This one, this is the diameter is 3.4 centimeter. Getting it? That already we know, 3.4 centimeter. Okay, now what we have to calculate? We have to calculate wall thickness, mold wall thickness, come to this figure. Wall thickness means what? Wall thickness means what? This is the wall thickness. Obviously this is a square, cavity is located at the center, so it will be equal from all directions, though in figure it is not getting equal, but it is equal. Okay, so these all the dimensions are equal. You know the larger size 4.625, you know the internal dimensions 3.4, just subtract it, you will get the wall thickness. Okay, so it is, how much is the total area, sorry, total side 4.625, 4.625 minus 3.4, so it is coming around 1 point, sorry, this 4, this 2, 1 and 1, 1.125. Sorry, this will be centimeter. Okay, so we are getting as 1.225 centimeter, right? So now rather than going backward, I'll draw it here only. This is 3.4 and this dimension plus this dimension, both the dimensions are equal to 1.225. Are you getting? We have considered this entire size as 4.625. So this both the dimensions, this is one part, this is two part, 1 plus 2, this is a 1.225. Okay, so we want wall thickness which will be common to all the side. Okay, so this will be half of this, so it will come out around 0.612, something around 0.612. Okay, so rather than this, I will write here 0.612, 0.612. Obviously this side also it will be 0.612 and this 0.612. Getting it? Okay, so this will be the wall thickness. This will be the wall thickness. Okay, so how the placement will be? How the placement will be? So it will be kept equally. I will show how to keep the two cavities. Now we got all the dimensions, around all the dimensions. This will be one cavity. This will be another cavity. Okay, so here are some assumptions may possible. Okay, this is 3.4. This is 3.4. Getting it? Okay, so we have calculated for the single cavity. Right now, while calculating the two cavities, you will have to consider the where it is. Okay, so this 42.857. Are you getting? Because here we have considered a calculation. From here onwards we can calculate it for single cavity. So while calculating the total dimension, you will have to consider it for the both cavities. So it is 42.857. Let me check it how much it is coming. 42.857. so this is coming as 6.546, 6.546, 6.546 and 6.546. Something mistake. Okay, so close dimensions we are getting. Okay, so though it is showing as a very close one, but actually these dimensions we are getting very less. Okay, these specifications we are getting very less one. Right, so in that case our, see here, so while calculating this projected areas, see in the design procedure, might be in the your machine design also you have studied that whenever you want to make as per the factor of safety, you will have to adjust the values for the maybe at the lower scale or for the upper scale. So what is happening here, when you are considering two cavities, you are getting it very close to each other. Getting? Okay, so you can check it here. Total dimension we are getting 6.8 and total size around 6.5 we are getting. Okay, so 0.3 centimeter is the only gap. In that gap we have to manage this wall thickness, this gap and this one. Okay, so in that way, in that case, either you can go for a rectangular size mold. Okay, see in your exam you need not to calculate it for the two cavities. This calculations whatever I am showing it to you, this is not required. Only up to this you will have to calculate. Okay, mold wall thickness for the single cavity. Right, whenever if you want to calculate for your understanding, no problem, but in that case you may be sometimes, now this time also it is requiring, or you can manage with that also, because what is happening, if you consider the square cross sectional area, we are getting very less space for the wall thickness. This side middle space is also less and this one also space. So to make the adjustment, you can go for the rectangular cross section also, depending on the size. Okay, because in that way you need to compensate this cross sectional dimension, and for that, in compensation with that, you will get this enlarged dimension along this length, getting it along this width. Okay, and you are compressing it along this direction. Right, so this way you can go for as many number of cavities you will increase. Accordingly you can go on changing the sizing or this specification of the mold plate. Got it now? Very simple to think. Simply you will have to calculate the wall thickness based on the total projected area. Looking to the cavities, you will have to reduce it down, and then based on that you can consider one configuration. Okay, here I have considered the square configuration. You can consider the rectangular configuration or triangular configuration. Okay, triangular configurations are not preferred mostly because these are not balanced one, and you can calculate this. C net projected area you have calculated based on these calculations. Okay, by our calculation we will get the calculated tonnage capacity, and if the tonnage capacity will be given, then you will have to redefine the total projected area by using the available tonnage capacity, right? And this projected area will be for single cavity, and this will be your weight of the product. Okay, so simple 4 to 5 steps hardly for the injection mold design also. Even in the compression mold we are having so many steps, but in case of injection mold hardly there are 4 to 5 steps are there. Getting it by using the factor of safety also, you can check it down once again, but that is not our scope. That will be a next part of that. Okay, so by using factor of safety, whether this design is considerable or not. Okay, so factor of safety will consider this particular parameters, distance between that, distance between the corner and the surface of this mold plate. Okay, so that way every parameter will be cross checked when you will consider it with respect to factor of safety, right? So this is the generalized procedure for getting the at least common basic parameters or the basic dimensions required for the mold design. Okay, so see, in the compression mold so many things we have calculated. This depth of chamber also we have calculated. Depth of chamber, that time we have calculated this depth of chamber. Why we have calculated depth of chamber there? Because we are in the need of this punch diameters, sorry, punch dimensions or the ram dimensions, which is going to punch here, which is going to ram up here. Okay, so that we have calculated their cavity dimensions, but here as such though no any ram or punch, so this internal dimensions are not required. Okay, so only with the external dimension we can calculate all the required dimensions of the mold, right? So that's what for this injection mold component design, right? And I think we have completed all the points, right? So this and this one we have completed almost all points.